this is an unboxing of the Boyue Likebook P78. I'm not going to bother taking the slip cover off. It's a fairly boring slip cover. So this is the box. What's inside the box? What's in the box? Another dated movie references. Well, here it is. Let me make sure that I might just have to adjust the camera, make sure you can see all of that. Oh look, yeah, there's my just try and get that in. How's that looking? Right, well, this is it. Let's take a look. Let's put it through its paces. In the box you get the Android-based e-reader like that. There's a very small basic manual, which isn't particularly interesting. And there is a USB-C data cable, that's for charging. Oh, it's purple. I don't think I've ever seen a purple cable before. And you also get a pin tool for adding an SD card to it, I assume. I don't think this has a SIM slot. So let's take a look at the e-reader itself. I'm going to take off the protective screen, and this is sort of, there we go. Yes, helps you actually flip things over. You know what, let's just rip. Just going to rip that? Yeah. Why not? Not terrifically easy to open to start with, but here we go. Really nice, smooth. It's plastic, but it's got a nice sort of sheen to it. And then, yeah, 2 amp, 5 volt USB-C. One of these is a microphone. I think one of these is the reset thing. And then 2 speakers there. But this is what we want. Look at the screen on that. So if I just bring it sort of as close up to the camera as I can. I don't know if I can do an autofocus on that. Is it going to? It really is quite crisp and clear. Absolutely beautiful. So let's turn it on. As with all unboxings, I have obviously unboxed it first to charge it, because no one wants to watch an unboxing of someone charging things up. Right, I'm getting a bit of glare off the thing there. Let's just take a look. Again, you can see it is really, that is really crisp for text. Look at that. And there's no sort of pixelation or anything like that. That is really smooth, clear text. Right, so I'm going to, let's set it up in English. Why not? So this is just a basic Android tablet. I mean, there is nothing much more special than that. I'm just going to put a thing up there. No, let's try something a bit taller so I don't get so much of the glare off the ring light. Okay. So English, yeah, let's go next. I'm not going to show you what my Wi-Fi is, so let's just skip that. There we go. So there's a couple of different display styles that you can have. You can have, well, it's basically grids. So let's go for the most complicated one. When do we want the screen to sleep? After about 5 minutes, and then it can shut down save power after an hour and turn Wi-Fi off automatically. Yeah, fine, good, complete. Let's click through into that. And there we go. It is, I mean, that is a beautiful, crisp screen. There is a web browser on here. I might connect to the internet in a bit, show you what it's like, because it's, you know, it's a bit slow. There's a basic app store. Now here you can see one of the issues that you're going to have. User settings, all one word. This isn't brilliantly translated. So we just sort of take a look here. You know, all the sorts of settings that you would expect, help and feedbacks from sort of regular Android tablet. Enable Google Frame, no idea what that is. It is fairly responsive. Going to device settings. You can change the keyboard, so let's change that from American to, right, maybe I can add British English later. That's reasonably snappy as performance goes. There's system updates now. Previously, I've had one or two updates off these. They're not great at doing updates, I'll be honest. Accounts, app info, what else have we got in here? These are all the apps that it comes built in. So it does have Google Play Store. You can get an idea of the screen scrolling. And obviously the more you scroll, the more you might just be able to see just a little bit of ghosting there. But for an e-reader, what you want is page, 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 and it does that pretty well. This is fairly standard Android settings, Android 8.1, so really old version of Android, but you're probably not going to be running loads of games on this. Go and see the status of Wi-Fi and all that kind of groovy stuff. Yeah, great, whatever. But here we go, Android settings. This is much more like the regular Android stuff that you would expect to see. Okay, well, let's go take a look at the book reading. Does it come with any books built in? Yes, we get some EPUBs of classic stories. Anything you like the look of there? Is this scrollable? Okay, so it's just got some Gutenberg ebooks on here. You can see they're really snappy. If we touch in the middle, I think, yeah, we can just jump into the middle there. There's some different fonts and things. Let's boost the font size. Yeah, make it nice and small. Good. And in terms of fonts, there you can use the fonts in the book. There's some Chinese fonts there. English fonts. Arial, you can download a font pack. So I think there are some, we can see chapters, bookmarks, all the sorts of things you expect from a reading experience. You can add notes. If you long press on words, yeah, so the system dictionary there, you'll see straight away. Chinese, my Chinese not good enough, unfortunately, to read that, so you need to install other dictionaries. Various settings. This is quite nice, this sort of double page thing, so if you want to read like that, which is pretty good as well. What other settings do we have? Yeah, you can change how you interact with the screen. And yeah, that's a bit about it. It's a pretty simple, easy to use e-reader. The one button that there is on there is the back button, bizarrely. Got a power button at the top. Now I think there is text to speech on this, but I'm not sure if I can get it to run without downloading extra voices. Let's just find out. To do that, let's change the rotation back to regular. That do it? Yeah, the interface is, I'm going to say, clumsy. Bits of it work really well, and bits of it just, haven't been tested that well, unfortunately. How do we get back to single page mode? No idea. Turn the page automatically. Okay, that's nice, I guess. Can we make it read to us? Little headphones thing there. No. It's meant to be speaking. Turn up the volume.
buried vegetable matter, which would have become peat, and finally brown coal, in a temperate climate, becomes, under the hot tropic soil, asphalt and oil, continually oozing up.
There's no physical volume buttons on this that I can see. So let's just stop that there. Maybe if we increase it.
As we neared the shore, Webb perceived that the beach was black with pitch, and the breeze being off the land, the asphalt smell, not unpleasant, came off to welcome.
Well, there we go. So it does do text to speech. It's the default voice. It's fine for that kind of thing. I think you can probably play ebooks and the like. I know that if we go back home, there we go. There's Bluetooth as well, so you can hook it up to Bluetooth speakers. There's a built-in screenshot button, which I don't, is useful. Interestingly, the screenshots it saves are in color, even though this is in black and white. You can set up Android developer options as well, I think. So let's just go to, so there's usually build number that you have to touch a bunch of times. No, can't. Oh, you're now a developer. Hurrah. So you can go in and play with all the developer settings at the bottom there. And yeah, for what it is, which is an Android tablet with an e-ink screen, it's pretty fast. It reads, yep, there's a screenshot I just took. It reads EPUBs and PDFs and all the other sorts of ebooks that you'd expect. Don't think it will probably have any built-in music, no, but there we go. What I'm going to do very briefly is connect it to the internet, and then let's see how the browser and everything works. If you've got any questions, do type them into the live chat. I may see them, I may not. So this is now connected to the internet. Oh, straight away, new version detected. So I was being a bit mean earlier about there not being stuff. Increase the application of floating ball. So floating ball is this weird, well, it's a floating ball which you can sort of touch anywhere on the screen and options come up. Bunch of different formats and other stuff like that. Let's not update that now. Let's go take a look. Well, first of all, in the App Store, see what you get by default. So there aren't many apps that it comes with. Acrobat, Audible, Call Reader, a few Google things as well. This isn't the Google Play Store, though you can install that. KO Reader, the book app I use. Kindle, now I think this is a specially adapted version. I don't think this is the official Kindle version. And Overdrive if you want library things. Now, this is bizarre. There are some App Store categories which it's given you, like cartoon, doesn't actually have any things there. Now, if I just zoom in, you might be able to see there's just a little bit of smearing on the screen. And again, this is normal for e-ink. It's shown up quite prominently, I think, in the video, but as you're reading it, kind of doesn't make any difference. It's just sort of background texture. Gmail, I mean, please don't read your emails on an ebook. That's just strange. No idea what this is, and again, you will find lots of untranslated bits in the user interface. So, and nothing in other. Go on, let's try the browser. Yes, it does have automatical page turning because it is very cool. Thanks, Skylar. Oh, look, a cookie notice. Can I scroll that? Yeah, you get a sort of idea of how well this works. So let's, it's very faint. You might just be able to see the sort of thing. Am I going to try doing the Google Doodle? That's probably going to be a bit too much for it, but let's, the keyboard is pretty good. I mean, it's a built-in Android keyboard. You can obviously just install whichever Android keyboard you want. And actually, you know, look at that. Obviously it's only black and white images, but those are really, you know, sometimes you might expect a solid block of black. Yes, the browser is a bit slow. This is a device which is optimized for e-reading. And you can see it's a bit flashy as it goes there, but you know, this is running Chrome. If you want to browse the web or download something, this will work just fine. So as this is a boring live stream, Google Play Store, let's take a look in there. I think from memory, you might have to do some weird stuff to connect it to Google, or maybe not. This just wants a regular sign-in, which, oops, having a think about it. Well, Google seems happy with this. Now, obviously, you can sideload whatever apps you want. This is just a Android tablet, USB-C connector at the bottom, but you can send stuff over Bluetooth or Wi-Fi. The Wi-Fi book transfer is interesting. You do that, scan a QR code, and then it just sets up this slightly weird website where you can copy over books. And that's all on your local network, which is kind of cool. And anything else, fairly dull file manager. And again, it will show you all the different books that you've installed on there. And well, I guess the last thing to do is let's go into settings. Let's install this update that it wants me to do. Right, where was that? Oh yeah, back in system updates. Right, well, live stream viewers, you now get to watch this update via Wi-Fi. I bet you really wished that you'd waited for the edited highlights. So yeah, there are the new features. Let's download it now. So I'm on pretty fast broadband here. This is downloading quickly, so you know the bottleneck, not really much of a bottleneck for an old tablet. Yes, please do talk amongst yourselves. There will be no music or anything else like that. So one of the things that this will do, so I think this is actually the reader application, and the e-reader itself is okay, as you've seen, but it does, you know, it isn't necessarily optimized for Western text. And so it does occasionally do weird things with line breaks and stuff like that. So let's just see whether installing this updated version will do anything. Okay, right. Fun streaming times ahead. Install now. Oh, one other thing that I don't know whether I can do this. This does have side lights, so you can set how bright the lights are. Oh, no, it's just powered off. You can set how bright the lights are and also the color temperature as well. So if you prefer a sort of slightly red-shifted light, you can have that, or nice and cool lights. Well, there's a little red LED up there that was flashing. This is having a think. So again, one of the problems with this is, it is Android, but it's fairly closed. Boyue don't release any of the source code or any of the modifications that they've made. I don't know if anyone's put third-party ROMs or anything like that. But again, you're really just using Android as the base here. I would use a third-party e-reader like KO Reader, but yeah, anyone will do. Now, the other thing this comes with, or at least that they've sent me, is this, which is the protective case. So let's just take a look at that. And again, it's You get a sort of rubbery back. Again, sort of metally looking, but fabric cover. And oh, I'll tell you what, we'll put this in. That just fits snugly in there. One of the things I don't know if it's got a magnet in here or whether it's got a proximity sensor, but I have noticed that when you close the lid, it does go to sleep, which is quite nice. Right, well, listen, live stream viewer, you're just going to have to sit here and watch it installing the system update, and then everyone else can come back to watch the edited highlights. Well, what is going on? Has this started up? No, it's having a good old think about it though, isn't it? And I think it plays a little bit of music when it turns on, so let's just listen out for that. Again, very exciting. It's one of these things when firmware updates, you never know if it's bricked or if it's just going to be stuck in a startup loop. So usually with something like this, you don't turn it off. You just leave it on all the time. You send it to sleep. Oh, there we go. It's worked. Ah, floating ball. So this is the new thing that's... oh, and there's a launcher update as well. Congratulations, update succeed. Again, poorly translated. By and large, you're going to get frustrated if you're expecting sort of Kindle level of quality to the interface. So please ensure the power of the device. Da-da-da-da. Oh, well, you know, we get some change notes, which is good. Update immediately or close. What do we think, gang? Do we want... Oh! New version updating. Okay, so a few more things. Updating now, please. Is this updating? No more reminder. I guess battery power is enough. Going to try updating now, see if that works again. Download now. So while this is downloading, let me see if I can show you the lights. So you do get, can choose day. I'm not sure how well this will show on video. Bed is a lot more red. Night is red but bright. And customize, you can say, you know what, I want it really bright. Okay, you have to touch that. Hopefully you can see that. Let's just see if I can move that up there. It is getting quite a lot brighter, and then I can increase the redness as well, I guess. Various buttons. And you know, again, this is, yeah, I think the white balancing is knocking it off, but trust me, gentle viewer, when I say that, yeah, it does change color. So let's just turn that off for now. Now, one of the problems with this is, these screens do suffer from screen discoloration. If you leave the LEDs on all the time, they're all around the edge. They slowly cook the screen. So my previous one has got this sort of gnarly nicotine yellow edge to it. So just make sure that you keep the lights off when you're not using them. Is this downloading now? Having a think. Right, well, while that's working out what it wants to do, what else can I show you? So floating ball is interesting. It is literally, it's a virtual assistant button. If I switch it on like that, there you go, you see that's there. If I tap it, a sort of fan of things comes out and I can go, oh, you know what, I want to go home. Tap the home button. There we go. Tap it again, it disappears. Now the problem with the floating ball is it's sort of always omnipresent. You can move it around. Here you get a sort of idea of the speed of this. So, you know, I tend to stick it in the bottom corner and then I change its color so it's almost invisible. Can I do that from here? No. More system updates. Update package has been downloaded. Go to install? No or go? No or go? What should I choose? I'm going to say no and then install this just in case I'm trying to install two different things. Let's just try. And again, with something like a Kindle or a Kobo, you would expect this to be one smooth thing and for it just to work. Like I say, this is not a Kindle. This is a reasonably hackable Android tablet, but you're not going to be handheld. You know, if your Kindle breaks, ring up Amazon, they will talk you through it. They might even send you another one. If this breaks, you're out of luck, basically. My previous one, as I said, under a year, the screen started discoloring. The eBay reseller wasn't interested in this. When I emailed Boyue, the manufacturers, they just didn't care. So I said, well, can you send me the new one and I'll review that? And they did. So I'm not sure if that's sustainable, but that was one way I got around the sort of fairly poor quality of this. Right, so we have another exciting system update to watch. If you've got any questions, please tap them in the chat and I will do my level best to ignore you, to answer you. But for now, we've got another 2 minutes of watching a progress bar on e-ink slowly crawl along. Yes, so this is the unexpected sequel, Skylar. You will definitely enjoy the update. So, thrilling times watching a system update bar. So, okay, so I suppose the good thing is there are updates for this. If you buy cheap tat from Alibaba, sometimes it comes with the firmware it's got and that's it. At least there is a software development happening. My previous one, I think, started on Android 6 and it got updated to 8.1. This starts on 8.1, which, isn't modern. I think Android's on 11. I think 12 is just about to come out. So it is a few years behind. But this is for reading books. Yes, you can, we've just seen Chrome on there and you can put Angry Birds and stuff like that. But really all this needs to do is render a screen in e-ink. And it does that, pretty well. So, talk amongst yourselves. While we wait, let's take a look at the little instruction book that it's given us. Quick Star Guide. So, actually, is this all in Chinese? Is there an English version in there? No. So, there is a TF, which is an SD card slot there-ish, which is why they give you one of these pins. Now, again, I'm not sold on the utility of that. I get why people might want a big library, but I mean, ebooks are about a megabyte each. If you're having really big, fancy PDFs with lots of pictures, maybe they're tens of megabytes. All right, comics can get up to hundreds of megabytes, but it's a black and white screen, so they don't have to be that big. Do you really need to carry around 64 gigabytes of books with you? I would say, I'm going to try and find out how much storage space this is, but I have never run out of storage space on an e-reader. Little warnings, basically don't smash it, watch out for it. It's not waterproof, unsurprisingly. And here we go, basic operating things. So when you stick that's the USB-C cable that it came with, which is a sort of fairly decent size. It just shows up, beautiful purple USB-C cable. It just shows up as a MTP, Media Transfer Protocol, so you can just drag and drop books across. If you use something like Calibre, it will be automatically detected and you can copy things that way. You can change the font, so hopefully once this is updated, I will download the font pack. And yeah, it's all very, it is cheap and cheerful, as they say. Come on, little Android, you can do it. People are bored of listening to me talk. They want to see pretty pictures. right, that seems to have updated. So one of the things, congratulations, no, congratulations to you. Right, where were we? Okay, let's go to library. These are the built-in books. There are notes that you can, oh, sad book, no notes. Let's take a look in the library. You can view it list style, or you can see column style, or there we go. So let's have a read of, well, we were enjoying the Young Folks Library so much, let's carry on with that. Oh, that's right, I'd set it to a horizontal page and I didn't know how to turn it back. So let's give this a quick go. Sound fonts. Let's go back to single page view. Set the rotation back to normal. There we go. So you can see there, a little bit hasn't quite rendered the text properly. It does. We do footnotes okay? Oh yeah, footnote 1, return, and then we get some Chinese text at the bottom there, which hasn't been translated properly. There's a floating ball where we can do various things. I'm just going to move that out of the way. Just move that down there so we don't notice it so much. So let's take a look at the fonts which we can have. By default, we get these two Chinese fonts, English fonts, Arial, and an English font pack. So now the thing is, you can just drag and drop other fonts on here. I think it's, yeah, just true type fonts. You can drag and drop, and then you can read them whatever bizarre fonts you like. That's taking its time actually. Let's, we might come back to that. Change the contrast of the text. So let's just, not sure if that makes a huge amount of difference, not that I'm seeing. Picture contrast, no, that's an interesting one. So that's wiped out completely, and that's too dark to see, so okay, yep, that works pretty well for black and white images. Let's just move on to some actual text so we can see what's going on. Does this do pinch to zoom? No, that just keeps going back. As I say, the book reading part of it, if all you want to do is just read straight text, it's okay. There are some bits where it's not wonderfully rendered. Change the type setting. What are these options? So indentation, if you think, oh wow, that line spacing is a bit much. Man, it just loves going back to the top of this chapter, doesn't it? So there you can see that line spacing is a lot closer now. It does inline pictures pretty well. How are we doing with the fonts? They downloaded yet? English fonts. Did it stop downloading when I went away from it? Yeah, it did. Okay, so you get another thrilling video of a file being downloaded. You would really think that they would preload this with just a bunch of fonts. You know, it's not, it doesn't make it weigh any more, it doesn't cost them more to ship it like that. But again, that's what I'm saying about this, is that you are not going to get the Kindle experience of, you know, here is a tablet which someone has taken loving care of, and you know they're absolutely committed to customer experience. You are getting, here's an Android tablet, we've built it cheaply, it works pretty well, but if you want to do anything next, wait. So just be aware of that when you get it. Man, it is crawling along. This is interesting because the Wi-Fi speed on this was pretty fast downloading the update, so I don't know how many gigabytes of fonts they're planning on installing on here. Aha! There we go, right. So each font comes in one at a time. So we got some Courier, some Adobe, Roboto, which is the sort of standard Android one. I think that's all of them. So let's change that to this Adobe font. Yep, there we go. That font has most definitely changed. I said what I would do is, let's just take a look at the settings again to find out how much space this thing has. Hello to the new people joining us on the stream. If you've got any questions, just shove them in the chat box. Device settings, app info. So I'm not going back into system update. So 2 gig of RAM, which again, on the low side for a tablet, but all this is doing is rendering books. It doesn't really need more than that. But 32 gig ROM, I mean, even if a bunch of that is taken up with the operating system, you are not going to fill this up with books, or at least, you know, it's going to take you a while. Battery level. How do I find out how much storage space we've got in here? Settings. Oh, you know, here's another interesting thing. So this does have, it's got Bluetooth, it's got USB. It also has Android Cast. So if you've got a Chromecast or similar somewhere in your house, you can broadcast this Android screen onto your telly, which is pretty nifty, I think. Storage, 15% use. So yeah, so used 4.8 gigs of 32, so you got 27 odd gigs free for books. And you know, like I say, the average book is yes, Skylar, it does indeed cast in color, although most books only have black and white text. Yeah, so it is unlikely that you're going to need the SD card. I can't quite understand why they've put it in there. I mean, like I say, I suppose if you want to carry your entire library of thousands of books, or if you're reading really big, chunky comics on here, maybe it makes sense. I don't know. It's a bit weird. Oh, I've just noticed the time there. 4:05. Let's see if we can set this to UK time. And again, this sort of belies the Chinese origins of this. Everything is set up for a user in China. It's set to Chinese text to start with. Most of the interface, well, bits of the interface haven't been translated, and the time is just set to China Standard Time. So let's select our time zone. Again, you can sort of see how good or not the scrolling is here. And again, you are not going to be using this as a sort of scrolly screen. This is turn the page. Well, that seems to have worked. Right, well, I think, oh, developer options. Yeah, usual stuff which you'll be used to. I think that is about enough live streaming for one evening. If you check back in a few days, there'll be a full blog review. But thank you very much for watching. Bye! Oh, where's the off button on YouTube?